Have you ever noticed that by mid-morning, your energy dips more than it used to? You're not alone. As we gather around the kitchen table, reminiscing over old family recipes and flipping through photo albums, many of us find that what used to fuel our days now feels more like a quick spark than a steady flame. It might be tempting to reach for that mid-afternoon cookie or a cup of coffee that leaves you jittery, but what if a few simple tweaks to what's on your plate could bring back that sense of vitality, and even help you feel years younger? Today, let's talk about the first 2 shifts you can make to your diet to start feeling better right away. No fads, no miracle powders, just the kind of real-world, small adjustments that fit into your life, not the other way around. Picture yourself enjoying a colorful, satisfying meal that leaves you satisfied and ready to take on the day, rather than craving a nap on the sofa. That's the goal. So let's dive in. First, let's rethink protein. You've probably heard that older adults need more protein than younger folks, but you might wonder why. It's because as we age, our bodies become less efficient at building and repairing muscle. That doesn't mean you need to turn into a bodybuilder overnight. It simply means that sprinkling more protein into your meals and snacks can help maintain muscle mass, keep joints feeling strong, and even support your immune system. Imagine starting your morning with a veggie-packed omelet instead of plain toast. Toss in some peppers, spinach, maybe a sliver of cheese, and you've got a breakfast that not only tastes great but gives your body the building blocks it craves. Or consider keeping a handful of nuts or a cup of Greek yogurt on hand for that mid-morning pick-me-up. These aren't heavy, complicated dishes, just protein woven into the fabric of your day. And if you're vegetarian or trying to cut back on meat, don't worry. Beans, lentils, tofu, and dairy are all terrific sources. A warm bowl of lentil soup or a colorful veggie chili can be every bit as comforting as Grandma's beef stew, with the added bonus of a protein punch that keeps you feeling strong. The key is consistency. Aim to include some protein at every meal and even at snacks, so your body has a steady supply of the amino acids it needs to rebuild and renew. Now, let's shift gears and talk about fiber. If protein is the foundation for muscle health, fiber is the unsung hero of digestive comfort. It moves things along, literally, helping to prevent constipation, supporting a healthy gut, and keeping your blood sugar levels from spiking after a meal. And the best part? Adding fiber doesn't require a complete overhaul of your favorite dishes. Think about starting each meal with a small side of vegetables or a fresh fruit. Before you tuck into that turkey sandwich, lay on some lettuce, cucumber slices, perhaps a handful of baby carrots. You'll get that satisfying crunch and the gentle benefit of fiber helping your digestion. Or swap out white rice for brown rice, barley, or quinoa. These whole grains add a nutty flavor and an extra dose of fiber without taking much extra time to prepare. Even breakfast can get an easy upgrade. Try a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries and a sprinkle of flaxseed or chia. That combo delivers soluble fiber, which helps you feel fuller for longer, and insoluble fiber, which keeps things moving. Over time, you'll notice fewer uncomfortable afternoons and more regular, predictable trips to the bathroom, a small change with a big impact on your day-to-day comfort. Of course, it can feel like a lot to remember at first. Protein here, fiber there. But you don't have to transform your entire shopping list in one supermarket run. Start by picking one meal to focus on each week. Maybe this week you add chickpeas to your salad 3 times. Next week, you try scrambled eggs with a side of sautéed greens. Before you know it, these tweaks become habits that stick, rather than chores on your to-do list. Between the satisfying strength of extra protein and the gentle sweep of added fiber, you'll likely find that your energy levels even out, your clothes fit a bit more comfortably, and the nagging digestive discomfort starts to fade. And all of this without giving up the flavors and dishes you love. It's just a matter of a few swaps and additions. Now that we've explored how boosting protein and weaving in more fiber can set the stage for greater vitality and comfort, let's move on to embracing healthy fats and nourishing your body in exciting new ways. Embracing healthy fats is easier than you might think. Picture drizzling a golden ribbon of extra virgin olive oil over a simple bowl of steamed broccoli, or tucking a few slices of creamy avocado into your midday sandwich. These aren't splurges, they're small, nourishing swaps that pack a surprising punch for brain health, joint comfort, and heart protection. Unlike the rigid low-fat mantras of decades past, modern research shows that the right fats become your friends as you age, helping you feel sharp and steady on your feet. When you choose a handful of walnuts instead of a handful of chips, you're not just treating yourself, you're giving your body omega-3 fatty acids that quiet inflammation and support memory. I remember my neighbor, Rita, mentioning how her knee aches eased up after she began adding a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to her morning oatmeal each day. It's not a miracle cure, of course, but over time that gentle anti-inflammatory effect can help you move with more ease, whether you're dancing at your granddaughter's wedding or tending to your garden. Think about swapping out butter for a smear of nut butter on whole grain toast. Or stir a spoonful of tahini into a made-from-scratch salad dressing. You'll still get that rich, satisfying mouthfeel, but you'll also be feeding your cells a blend of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats that your body recognizes as allies. Even the humble can of tuna, packed with heart-healthy fats, can become the foundation for a quick, protein-rich lunch so you don't wander into the snack aisle in search of comfort. And for dessert, why not indulge in a square of dark chocolate? The cocoa butter it contains is a healthy fat, and in moderation, it can satisfy your sweet tooth while offering antioxidants that help protect blood vessels. The key is balance. Treat yourself, but steer clear of trans fats and the heavily processed zero-fat products that often swap in sugar or artificial ingredients to make up the difference. Once you've added a few healthy fats to your daily routine, your body can start to use them more efficiently, fueling long, leisurely walks or that morning Tai Chi class without leaving you feeling like you need a nap afterward. But nourishing your body with good fats is only part of the picture. There's another group of nutrients that work hand in hand with fats to protect your cells, boost your immune system, and even give your skin a youthful glow: antioxidants. Imagine a plate painted with bright reds, deep purples, and sunny yellows. Whether it's a handful of juicy strawberries, a spoonful of blueberry compote stirred into yogurt, or a warm bowl of butternut squash soup, each colorful ingredient is brimming with antioxidants. Those tiny warriors that seek out free radicals in your body and help keep your arteries clear and your cells happy. My Aunt June started blending a teaspoon of turmeric into her golden milk each evening, pairing it with a dash of black pepper to unlock its full power. She swears that her morning stiffness eased up just enough to make her favorite crossword puzzles feel like a treat again, rather than a chore. Berries are the classic example, but don't feel limited. A crisp apple with the skin on, a scattering of pomegranate seeds over your salad, or even a few sun-dried tomatoes tossed into your pasta can add a burst of antioxidant activity. And leafy greens like spinach and kale, though subtle in flavor, are green gold when it comes to lutein and zeaxanthin, nutrients that support eye health, so you can keep enjoying those Sunday comics or reading to your grandkids without squinting. If you're someone who loves a smoothie, consider tossing in a handful of frozen berries and a small piece of peeled, ripe mango. The sweetness disguises the greens, and you're left with a creamy, nutrient-dense treat that feels like dessert but acts like medicine. And if you're more of a soup person, pureeing roasted beets with a swirl of Greek yogurt creates a silky smooth bowl that's as pleasing to the eye as it is healing to the body. It's easy to look at antioxidants and think, that sounds complicated, but really, you're just playing with color on your plate. When you see a rainbow, you know you're getting a spectrum of nutrients. Over the course of a week, aim to include a few different hues at each meal. Before you know it, you'll reach for those vibrant peppers or ruby red berries without a second thought. By weaving in healthy fats and sprinkling your plates with antioxidant-rich foods, you're creating a nutritional safety net that works around the clock, supporting your heart, your brain, your joints, and even your skin. You'll likely find that your energy feels more balanced, your mind feels a little clearer, and those everyday tasks feel less like hurdles and more like part of the flow of life. Now, with healthy fats soothing inflammation and antioxidants lending their protective magic, there's one more shift that will pull all your good work together and leave you feeling truly revitalized. And as you begin to savor those antioxidant-rich berries and feel the gentle benefit of healthy fats nurturing your joints and heart, there's one more simple habit that ties every other shift together like the final piece of a puzzle: staying properly hydrated. It's easy to think of water as just water, But for our bodies, especially as we grow wiser in years, it's the lifeblood that carries all those nutrients you've worked so hard to include. Picture a garden. Without enough moisture, even the strongest plants wilt. The same goes for the cells in your body. When you sip consistently throughout the day, you help everything from your digestion to your thinking to run more smoothly. You might remember the days when you were younger and could go all afternoon without drinking, then gulp down a large soda at dinner. These days, you've likely noticed that thirst doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes a dry mouth is easy to ignore, or you might mistake mild fatigue for needing a snack rather than a drink. But by the time you feel truly parched, your body has already begun conserving water, your heart works harder, your skin may look dull, and your joints can creak a bit more. Making hydration a gentle, continuous habit keeps your mind sharp and your energy steady. Start by placing a glass or a water bottle in the spots you frequent most, by your favorite reading chair, next to your television remote, or right on your bedside table. When you sit down for a chat or a crossword puzzle, take a thoughtful sip. If plain water feels too bland, try infusing it with a slice of lemon, a sprig of mint, or a few berries. You'll get a hint of natural flavor without any added sugar, and that tiny twist can make all the difference when you're reaching for your bottle throughout the day. Herbal teas count, too. Ginger, chamomile, hibiscus, each brings its own soothing qualities alongside the hydration. And those homemade soups you've always enjoyed can be a stealthy way to boost fluid intake, especially on cooler days. Think of a light, brothy vegetable minestrone or a cup of miso with a sprinkle of scallions. They bring warmth, flavor, and yet more of that life-giving water without any extra effort. If you'd like a bit of structure, consider setting a gentle reminder on your phone or an old-fashioned kitchen timer at intervals you choose. Every hour, let it nudge you to refill your glass, take a sip, and pause for a moment of mindfulness. Over time, you won't need the reminders, the habit will form naturally, and the tingle of satisfaction will come not just from quenching your thirst, but from knowing you're caring for your body in the most foundational way. When your hydration is on track, you'll notice that the other shifts you've made, protein to strengthen muscles, fiber to ease digestion, healthy fats to lubricate joints, antioxidants to guard your cells, all begin to work together in harmony. Meals feel more satisfying, adventures feel more effortless, and mornings arrive with a little more pep in your step. Little by little, walking around the block feels more breezy, you tackle chores with less strain, and even your favorite pastime, whether it's painting, gardening, or catching up with friends, comes with a feeling of ease. All told, these 5 shifts form a circle of support: protein that rebuilds, fiber that soothes, fats that energize, antioxidants that protect, and hydration that fuels. There's no magic pill, just thoughtful choices that respect the way your body changes over time. And here's the best part, you don't have to tackle them all at once. Pick one habit to weave into your week, celebrate that small win, and then layer in the next. Before long, you'll look back and realize how far you've come, and you'll probably feel younger than you have in years. If you've tried any of these shifts already, or if you have your own tips, maybe a favorite herbal infusion or a go-to protein snack, I'd love to hear how it's worked for you. Drop a comment below sharing your experience or a question that's on your mind. And if you found this conversation helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps others in our golden-aged community find the tips they need. Don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming, practical advice tailored just for you. Here's to embracing each meal and every moment with intention, to nurturing your body as lovingly as you've cared for everything else in your life, and to living your best, most vibrant years yet. When you look at your plate now, it might be brimming with colorful veggies, lean protein, healthy fats, and a glass of infused water by your side, and that's already something to celebrate. But what happens when life gets busy, or when you're tempted by the convenience of a drive-thru on days you just don't feel like cooking? That's where a gentle plan, nothing rigid, just a friendly roadmap, can help you stick with these new habits without feeling like you're chained to the kitchen. Imagine beginning each week by glancing over your calendar. You see Mrs. Lee's knitting circle on Monday, a grandkids soccer game on Thursday, and a book club brunch Saturday morning. Rather than letting those commitments hijack your meals, you decide, on knitting night, I'll batch make that hearty lentil soup I enjoy. On game day, I'll pack a simple turkey and avocado wrap with a side of baby carrots. For brunch, I'll bring along a berry-topped Greek yogurt parfait in a mason jar. Just a few minutes of thinking ahead keeps you on track and spares you the temptation of roadside fast food, and it turns meal prep into a small, satisfying ritual rather than a chore. And if cooking for one feels a bit lonely, why not turn it into something social? Invite a friend over once a week for a recipe swap lunch. You bring your fiber-packed salad, they bring their antioxidant-rich stir-fry, and you both walk away with fresh ideas and half the work. It's amazing how good food tastes even better when shared, and swapping dishes you've tested and loved can introduce you to flavors you might never have tried on your own. But life isn't always predictable, and there will be days when your best-laid plans go out the window. Maybe you wake up feeling under the weather, or the weather itself dampens your motivation to cook. On those afternoons, focus on quick wins. A handful of nuts, a sliced apple with peanut butter, or a cup of veggie broth can keep you nourished until you feel up to a more elaborate meal. These small, intentional choices, even when you're pressed for time, rekindle your commitment to feeling your best. Then there's the joy of exploration. Challenge yourself to try one new ingredient each week. Black beans if you've never given them a chance, quinoa if you've always reached for rice, or kale in that smoothie you love so much. Over time, you'll build a go-to list of simple, delicious recipes that fit your taste buds and your schedule, and that list becomes your secret weapon against mealtime fatigue. As these patterns take root, you'll likely notice another delightful side effect: your cooking skills and confidence grow. What once felt like a foreign language, okay, flaxseed, into oatmeal, got it, begins to feel as comfortable as slipping into your well-worn slippers. You learn from each success, that tahini dressing that stole the show at last month's potluck, and even from the occasional flop, who knew zucchini could be that soggy? Those little lessons add up, and before long, you'll be fielding calls from friends asking for tips, and that sense of community and shared learning is one of life's sweetest rewards. Of course, no approach is perfect, and there may be times when you miss the mark. Perhaps you overindulge in holiday cookies or forget to drink enough water when you're wrapped up in a good book. It's important to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend. One off day doesn't erase weeks of progress. Take a deep breath, refill your glass, and remind yourself that every meal is a new opportunity to care for your body. Finally, keep your why close at heart. Maybe it's walking down the aisle at your daughter's wedding without worrying about energy slumps, or simply keeping up on the playground with your grandkids on a Saturday afternoon. Whenever motivation wavers, recall that image of yourself feeling light on your feet, enjoying each bite of a meal that fuels your laughter and your life. Those 5 shifts: protein for strength, fiber for comfort, healthy fats for ease, antioxidants for protection, and hydration for vitality, aren't just diet tweaks. They're the building blocks of a lifestyle that celebrates your wisdom and honors your body. So here's to turning the page on old habits and writing a new chapter, one where every meal is a chance to nourish not only your body, but your spirit. Embrace the planning, savor the colors, share the flavors, and, above all, be gentle with yourself. Change isn't about perfection, it's about persistence, compassion, and the joy of discovering how vibrant life can feel when you feed yourself well. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May each bite bring you closer to the healthy, happy days ahead, and may you always remember that it's never too late to start feeling your very best.